Hello all YouTubers out there. It's December 17th, 2016. It was pretty cold out there last night, minus 24 degrees Celsius, that's minus 11 Fahrenheit, and today it's snowing a lot. I show you a clip of my calendar, but it's been replaced by a newer calendar that my friend gave me. He owns a small engine shop, but that's probably a lot better sight to see than seeing a panoramic view of some mountains. But anyways, let's get on to some updates here. So I picked up a block for the truck engine. It's from my friend again, but this thing's all pre-machined. So it's actually bored over 40 thousandths to begin with, and the block has been decked as well. So quite a bit of machining's already been done to this, so I decided to go that way because it just reduces the amount of time that you have to put into it, and I can do it myself, a lot of it myself now, because I don't have to rely on anyone having to bore it out and machine it and everything. It's sort of already pre-machined. So this is a let's just call it the 207 block, produced from 1980 to 1985. They were it's a two-piece main seal, so meaning that it takes a two-piece seal, I guess, as opposed to the one-piece. Yeah, and it's already bored over, so you can tell that's nice. It's a 4-bolt main, which is even better, so that's more optimal for a towing engine. So all in all, this is a pretty good block. It's going to need cam bearings, but yeah, other than that, this is going to be my first sort of engine build I ever did, so I'm going to be relying on some other people for comments and stuff like that to help figure out the best course of action and everything. So I'd like to try to do as much of it myself to get that experience. Oh, you have to excuse me, the camera, my GoPro camera battery fried, so now I'm just going to be using this one, so the picture might not be as good. But anyways, yeah. So that's the block I'm going to be using for the truck. I'm just going to be using, unfortunately with this, you're going to have to use a flat tappet cam, but I'm going to be using like a fairly small cam to make it it still has to be TBI friendly, so you know, I'm not going to be running really high valve springs pressure on it, so it won't need as much zinc and things like that. But I mean, a roller cam would have been optimal, but as well, a roller cam's a lot more expensive, and it's like the Rolling Stones song right now, you don't always get what you want, you get what you need. But this is what I need to keep this truck engine going, the truck project. So anyways, that's the block. As well as I picked up some rods from my friend, again pre-machined. So the inner surfaces have been prepped and everything. They've been resized, both ends. These are what he called skinny rods, meaning this diameter here isn't as thick as you would get in any other application. It's what's called a GMB rod. So, but these, I mean, for this truck engine, I mean, this thing isn't going to be revved to the moon. It doesn't need to be the ultra strongest of components. It's a tow engine, right? So, and the also rod bolts have been replaced. They're new, so, and they're ARP. So, again, I mean, this is another case where all the machining's done. It's out of someone else's hand. It's into my hand. So now I take that and run with it, right? So, unfortunately, right now is most times in my life budget's bad. But here are just the other components I'm going to be using for this. So I bought this actually. This is a 3D3. I've put this on another video a long time ago, but no one probably remembers, anyways. So it's a 3D3 crank. So this is actually going to be 385 cubic inches as opposed to 3D3, just because this generally in the 3D3 build it's bored over 30 thousandths. This is going to be bored over 40 thousandths, or has been. So, but this is a 3D3. It's a Eagle brand cast crank, brand new. Picked it up off Kijiji a while ago for a pretty good price, tell you the truth. It's a lot less than finding something else and machining it and everything, but it's two-piece, remain seal, so it matches with the block. But you know, this should work well. I'm gonna have to clearance these railings and everything. There's a great video by a guy named My Vintage Iron. I didn't get the full name, but he has a great video where he goes through and shows how to clearance all these areas. I'm not running some major cam either, so that shouldn't be bad either. But anyways, there's the crank. There's the refinished rods. These are stock length rods. And these are the cylinder heads I want to use. And I picked these up again. Now, these are not the greatest castings for... These are TBI. These are off a TBI engine. So that's a 193 casting. But again, what happened here, someone had got a machine shop to do a lot of work on these. It's got new valve guides. It's been bee-blasted, cleaned up. So someone had paid, or not even paid. These basically someone had ordered these, never picked them up. So this other machine shop guy, he did a lot of work on them. So he put the new guides in, as well as extensive porting. Maybe not extensive, but at least more decent. Like, he's cut the valve guides down a bit. That was probably one of the areas, problem areas for flow. But the exhaust has actually been polished and everything, and the combustion chamber is polished. So these came from the factory typically, and they weren't that great flowing heads. But with all this porting work, it's probably put it up quite a bit and made it much better than just a stock application. And with these, since these are TBI head, I can use my TBI intake and use all the TBI component. It all matches. So again, I picked these up for like $200, and there's a lot more work in it than $200. And it came with new valves, or at least the valves have been finished. So there you go, new valves. And it looks like it's been resurfaced. So these, although there's some accumulation of rust on it, I'll get rid of that. But yeah, so I think I did well for all these components. A lot of the machining's been done to them already. And yeah, I just didn't figure what the first step is. My friend was telling me that you should get just standard over bearings and rods and everything and do some clearance checks and whatnot. It needs a good cleaning. But yeah, so I just want to show everyone, yeah, I did finally get some components together to start my truck engine build. And believe it or not, the Monty, I was just there yesterday, and we clearanced the rest of the cylinder heads for the dome pistons, and hopefully the cylinder heads can be assembled sometime soon. And sometime this winter, I'm thinking the engine's going to be here, and I'm going to be full speed on it, just putting everything back together, and like all the cooling system and the wiring, the exhaust, and then fire it up. And in the during the winter here, break it in and then change the valve springs, because we're only going to be running outer valve springs during the break-in. Change the valve springs to put the inners back in, and this thing's going to be ready to rock for the spring. I say that now, but it's a lot closer than it's ever been. So, anyways, just thought I'd let everyone know that yeah, there is some movement on the truck. Okay, I will talk to you guys later.